Well, we also wanted to present Yanis and Rosella and Christine, and basically for the past 2 weeks we have been a team, which is a new arrangement within our unit. So, the Common Dissemination Booster. So why this info session? First of all, we want to introduce to you the booster. Apparently it's easier if we talk you through it a bit and give you the information about it. It is a new opportunity, it's a pilot, it's never been done before, and we will try to see how successful it will be, and there your role is paramount. I cannot stress it enough, so you will see it throughout the slides that really it comes down to you guys and how best you will be able to sell this to the project. Questions and answers at any point, please do feel free to stop me if there is anything that needs clarifying, because if by presenting introducing the concepts you're not very at ease with it, or I didn't make myself very clear, it's best to clarify before we move deeper and deeper into the details. So why did we come up with this pilot, this new initiative? It goes back to the strategy for the dissemination and exploitation of research results, with the objective to make better use of all the results that we have in FP7 but also in Horizon 2020. Very important to highlight the importance for it to feed back into policy making and into the impact. All of the boosters, so the dissemination and exploitation booster, are part of Pillar 1, which is within the strategy. These are the actions which are focused to support the beneficiaries in their dissemination exploitation activities. A few things to clarify: how dissemination is set apart from communication and is set apart from exploitation. So, communication is one thing, dissemination is another thing, and every time I meet somebody, these have to be clarified because the chances to get it wrong are 99% of the time. Dissemination, for me, starts when we have the results. Communication you can have throughout the project life cycle, and it's awareness raising about it, but dissemination is really the one where it says, I have the result, here it is. I have my targeted audience, I know who can make best use of my results, and I actually make it available to them, which means that my end user, whoever it may be, is capable to pick up the result. It doesn't have to come and contact me, where is the result, how can I, no. It really is handed to, made available to the persons who can make use of it. So this is paramount for dissemination. And you will see that because of this, there are some conditions that the participants in the booster have to fulfill. Also, in terms of tools, there are lots of tools that are called either communication or dissemination. They are just tools which serve the purpose that you have. And whether you want to do communication or whether you want to do dissemination, the tools will differ. Just to show you the fancy tool that we have, these are purely dissemination tools, and this is where we would like to be placed. That doesn't mean that having a project website or a video cannot help, but this is where we want to be. And then the dissemination is highlighted for you. Then, how does dissemination and exploitation differ, especially with the other booster that we had? It's a push and pull, a struggle, or a fun, whichever you want to take it. The dissemination is basically the push. So the knowledge, the information, the results are pushed towards the people that are best capable to take it further, with the goal to maximize the impact of the research that was achieved in the project. Exploitation is the pull, so I take the results over and I actually exploit them. And this can be done either by the partners who have done the result, who had achieved the result themselves, or it can be some other third party that takes this result and exploits it. In Horizon 2020, on the exploitation, there's the big emphasis, and this is further and further emphasized with the need to prove the impact of our spending. And the slides will be available on the Deep Wiki, so you don't need necessarily to take notes. Also, the video will be available. So, if you want to get information, everything will be there. So, the dissemination, you can see now the icon. This is our icon for the dissemination booster, and here you have the icon for the exploitation booster, which is, by the way, on the way. In terms of implementation, and it's a success. And for both of them, so we are running the pilots, and we will be implementing a bigger framework program, which will render these two services a steady tool provided to all the beneficiaries. Everything is at the level of the family. So the research and innovation family, which you might know or not, it's made up of 20 institutions. So that's the intro, and basically defining a bit the concepts and how dissemination fits it into everything. And now for the dissemination booster itself. The objective, very easy, to support services for FP7 and Horizon 2020 project groups. You already will see the introduction of the word groups. And why? So we want to bridge the gap between the research and the further uptake of this research. It is launched as a pilot now. And the payment for a support concept has already been described. Some basics about this booster. It is a new framework contract which is centrally managed by us. So basically we came up with the idea, done all the procurement process. We are currently in the award procedure. And all the budget is from J5 budget. The duration is for 2 years, which start mid-2017. And the budget for this consultancy services is for 700,000 euros. The external consultants will, of course, sign a confidentiality agreement. So basically all the documentation that will be transmitted from the projects to the consultants, it's all okay, no worries about that part. And anyways, they are meant for dissemination. So then the contractor will propose a suite of 5 services, and they are all tailored for specific needs of each project group. And these will be then consultancy services specialized in dissemination, no communication. So yeah, to note that the award procedure is on the way. We would have liked, in the best case scenario, we would have had this info session together with our contractor. However, there's a tiny bit of delay in the award. And the kickoff meeting we are hoping to have before the summer, but all the information that will be coming out from the kickoff meeting, where we set the final procedure, will be communicated on the Deep Wiki, which by now I hope you're familiar with, but if not, at the end of the slides you have the link to it. Basics number 2, so that 5 services, and the services are for all projects, any project in FP7 or Horizon 2020 as the lead project applying. However, emphasize and underline, here we are talking about dissemination of portfolios of research results. So highlight portfolio and highlight result. The details will become evident later on. And the project consortium can apply for any of the suites. So it can be 1 service, 2 services, up to 5. But it can only apply for one particular service once. So that the more projects have the chance to benefit from the pilot. And because of administrative constraints, so the application is done via EU survey. Each application for one service has to be done individually, which means that if one portfolio wants to apply for 3 services, it has to submit 3 different applications. And yeah, participating projects cover their own logistic costs. We cover the costs of the consultant. And the participating project can be ongoing or closed. The key is having the results. So by the time the service is implemented, which means that the dissemination takes place, we talk about results and not foreseen, hoped, planned results. We are talking really about achieved results. And attention, yes, so attained results. Good. Then, to define a little bit the concepts that relate to this booster, first we have the project group. And what do we mean by a project group? So a project group is something, so a group of projects that is typically between 2 and 5. Of course, if there are more, we will be very happy and clapping. So really the goal is to have as large a portfolio as possible, but in order for the applications not to be thrown out before they start, we have limited it to the minimum possible, but of course the more the better. And there's a bit of different entry requirements for the different services. For service number 1, which is the identification of a portfolio of results, there we allow the entrance of more than 1, which makes 2. But basically with that service, the contractant comes and extends the portfolio. For anybody else, so all the other project groups that are already capable to gather the project, the portfolio, then we have the services 2 to 5, where it has to be typically between 2 and 5, but again, no upper limits. And basically, if there are more projects, in case we are able to choose, we will choose the ones that are larger groups. Because really, larger project groups are the core objective of this dissemination booster. Then the part 2, the portfolio. We have core projects and supplementary projects. It's very easy. The core projects are FP7 and Horizon 2020 projects. And out of those, there will be 1 lead. So in terms of administrative dealing with the services and everything, there will be 1 lead. And the supplementary projects are any projects that stem from EU, national or regional funding. The portfolio will bring together results that are complementary, alternative, whatever makes sense to be disseminated together. The way you can imagine this is that we have the end user, and we want to be in the shoes of this end user, and what would make sense for this end user to receive. Basically, if instead of the end user going and trying to find results here and there, the persons who are actually responsible for the research are capable to say which results make sense to be disseminated together. Then the lead project, it has to be one FP7 or Horizon 2020 project, just for administrative purposes. The core projects are FP7 or Horizon 2020, the supplementary, any EC national or regional funding.